Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's andrewroby.com, where you can always find us at the WBT.com homepage. Trent, before the break, we talked a little bit about Roby Electric. We're now joined by Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric. Patrick, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to be here.
Trent, I know there's a really interesting story about how Roby Electric got started and how it's evolved over the years, but it's really a testament to what you have done with the company and expanding it to really provide home services for homeowners
and commercial services.
Yeah.
You know, we like to serve clients that are both integrated and have residences, second residences, but also have rental properties and also are leaders and integrated in businesses. So with that, we want to be able to service all their electrical needs, right, Patrick? All their needs, period.
That's correct. I mean, really, our ideal client is anyone that either manages or owns residential or commercial property, even some industrial who could be frustrated by lack of communication from their existing contractor, concerned with poor dependability and quality of work, who also might not be receiving the value that they think that they deserve from their contractor. So these are really what our ideal client is. And you know, we used to say homeowners and we would say business owners, but it's really anybody that's in that property game. I mean, real estate agents are a good fit for something that if they have a closing that needs to happen pretty quickly and have a few little odds and ends that need to be handled. So that's really what we're about. The large-scale commercial construction is going crazy right now, and that's just not our game. I think we've discussed that here before. We kind of take the stuff that maybe some of those other guys don't want, quite frankly.
Well, everybody asks me, they're like, why do you want to do the scraps? Well, I'm scrappy, whatever you say. But I really think that's where the opportunity exists, because when you need something done and you want good service, it's all about white glove and how you take care of people. And what I like about the transformation, when we first started Roby Electric, we've always been bootstrapping. We're bootstrapping every second of the day. I mean, I always say it's the ninth round of a heavyweight Mike Tyson fight when you're in it. From the outside, it looks sexy, but when you're in it, you're getting bludgeoned. But I'll tell you, Patrick, under your leadership over the last 5 years, we have been more discerning about driving clean and nice vehicles, well-logoed vehicles. We've always been proud of our logos and stuff, but you know, we'll buy a van for $3,000 just to get somebody on the road, break down all the time and look like dusty dirt. But also, our guys wear uniforms. They're trained to say yes, right, ma'am, no, ma'am. I mean, it's a very verbal, and I mean, communication is the name of the game, and I'm really grateful for how y'all evolved to that, and you can see it. You can see what's happening because of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that can do what we can do, and there's a lot of people that try and can't. I mean, it's a lot more difficult than, like I think you were talking earlier in the show about landing one big job and being able to keep those guys busy for 6, 7, 8 months versus fielding calls that are 2 to 3 hours at a time. So that can be a little bit more difficult and challenging. So I think that's probably what restricts entrance to this type of business, which is good. We sort of feel like we have the right recipe, and we're laser focused on that recipe. And the good thing about it is once you sort of have the overhead piece accounted for, it allows for opportunity to go into new markets minus the overhead. And that's exactly what we're trying to do now.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. If you want to know more about Roby Electric, find out more about what they can do for you, you can go to our homepage, andrewroby.com, or always give us a call at 704-334-5477. And Patrick, probably there's a way for them to get directly to you guys, right, if they want to call directly to Roby Electric.
Yeah, the best way is actually just to go to robyelectric.com, which you can get to from andrewroby.com.
Right.
So that's really the best way. The phone number is real close. It's 334-6447. So you really only have one different digit to remember other than the Andrew Roby number.
So hit the website, find out. You're also on all the apps, House, and all those types of things.
Yeah, sure.
They can find you anywhere.
Sure.
So, and Trent, you touched on this a little bit. and you talked about the uniforms, the trucks, but it's really the word that came to mind when both of you were talking is professionalism. And I think that is what people want. And I think your expertise in some of these larger things, when you're talking about commercial, when you're talking about people that own properties and manage properties, you take that same level of a professionalism down to the individual homeowner when maybe they need an outlet changed or a light switched out.
That's right, Ash. So our tagline is your electrician. That's Roby Electric's tagline. It's on anything that we have, print, media, whatever. And that's exactly what we're trying to be. We're not a one-and-done type contractor. We're not a fly-by-night. We've been here for a long, long time. And I guess the real word that I would use is relationship. And that's what we're trying to form with every homeowner, every business owner, or whomever we do work for. We want to become your electrical partner. And I think that's where the Your Electrician tagline came from. We used to be Roby Electric, electrical contractor, which really isn't what we do. Now we do some contract work, but really we're there as a partner for your.
Well, you're
your
power to the
needs.
people, right?
We got that too. Now that's
Power to the
power to the people. That's the
Now, resonating. I mean, this goes with all businesses, right? Resonating with Ash is professionalism. Resonating with Patrick is relationships. And I'm sitting here saying, I say it all the time, we're a communication company. The widget that we happen to do is construction, real estate, electrical service, handyman services. That's the widget we do. But it's communication, and it's how you communicate. It's a funny story. I was having a cocktail with somebody we share business with in the world, and before he met us the other day, pretty high-end guy, we got on the topic of I have 4 children, everybody knows, and I think I have an impending vasectomy coming one day. I just don't know when. My wife likes keeping me in the closet. And we were joking about that and how that's all come about and how I was a little concerned. So I was babbling about my pain, my future pain. And he said, man, you got to set it up around an event. He said, and about 3 years ago, I set mine up around, I called and set it up around Masters Weekend. I was going to lay up on the couch and milk this thing from Friday to Sunday. He said, and we had some jackleg messing around in our kitchen just doing a handyman and cut the direct TV wire, and he said he didn't have any TV all weekend. I said, well, you couldn't fix it back? And he said, well, I called DirecTV. They were going to be 5 days, and I got them there in a day, but it still was already, through the weekend. That was Monday. And he said, man, I was laying in bed listening to music. I said, he didn't have anything. He didn't have any TV at all.
I don't want to tell this guy, but it's on CBS. He could have bought an antenna.
Or you get the app I was thinking
of.
The
Some people are a little
Masters
above
app.
that threshold,
Yeah,
old school, rabbit ears. I got some
Here's
aluminum foil
some aluminum foil.
in my glove
Get the
box
iPad
for
going.
when you need it. But it was funny. He told me that story. He's like, yeah. I was like, well, what? He's like, yeah, man, we were using a jackleg. That's what I get. I mean, and it's funny. I can't even imagine if we were there doing a service call for somebody on Friday and cut their DirecTV, how it would not. They wouldn't have TV for the weekend. I'm not saying that mistakes don't happen, but goodness gracious.
Well, we talked about in the previous segment, and you called them one and dones, right? Where you go and these people bounce around. You get a lot of that at some of these places. You get guys that come in, they may have 1 or 2 guys that work for them, and then they're gone the next week. That's not what you guys are about. You guys have built a quality staff. It's a great place to work, which we talked about in the last segment, but you have people there that care and know what they're doing. They're going to make sure they're treating our customers' homes the same way they treat their own.
That's the goal. That's right. Now, we're not obviously nowhere near perfect, but the consistency is what we're trying to go after here. So you're exactly right. And, we try to get the ones that don't have that extra level off the bus as fast as we can. And that's, you're right. I mean, we have to have such a level of caring that if the person who we're working for has children, we got to view those children's safety as if it was our own. And I think that's really what separates good contractors, good service type contractors, even remodelers and custom home builders from the rest of the pack, is that's what they do.
So this is a kid's show. We're talking about how many children we have. We're talking about taking care of the clients' children
Right.
like they're our own. talking some medical talk here.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we even take care of their pets the same way too, right? I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
that.
actually, we'll leave that
great
one
minds
for the
think-
next show.
think alike, huh?
You're so good, actually.
Meow.
You have two slogans. You're your electrician and power to the people. That's how good you are.
well, thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
it. I never looked at it that way.
Power to the pets.
All right, power
you
to the
go.
pets. All right, can you stay with us? We'll hang
Sure,
in. And we'll
absolutely.
come back. Let's talk about some specific
Okay.
things people can think about around the house.
No problem.
When we come back, we're going to talk more with Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.